Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Tuesday, May the 10th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Miss Deb Lutz to go over this two-game NBA slate. And I'll tell you, Deb and I are on pins and needles. 2 games apiece, Phoenix and Dallas. Are you as pumped up as I am, Deb?
We are duking it out there, Coach. It's been a great series so far. I don't expect anything less for the rest of it. Yeah, I'm ready to go. This is going to be fun tonight.
It is going to be fun, and we just have to mention it again, not to brag, but just so, I hope a bunch of you used the lineups, but we had posted a lineup the last time these teams played the day before yesterday that cashed all over the place with DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. In fact, it was the number one lineup in the main contest on Yahoo. For $20, we took back $6,000. So, yes.
Yeah, amazing.
So now we got the same 2 teams, same scenario, just flipping the cities that they're playing in. So
let's do it again.
We can get back after it, right?
Let's do it again.
Let's
not stop at $6,000.
No, let's keep it going. And also want to shout out to you because you had supplied our members with a 5-pick on PrizePicks and Kapowie 5 for 5. And that was a nice little $50 score for you.
Yeah, exactly. 50 to take down 500. It was, 10 to 1. Got it.
10x action. I love it. And I'm sure our members enjoyed that as well. So great job. It was definitely a money day for us, and we made money again yesterday. So we're on this hot streak. We had talked about it last week, Deb. This was the exact week last year when we had a bunch of takedowns, and here we are again. So
we're able to hone in. None of this crazy randomness with weird players subbing in. This is really where our analysis and knowledge is going to help pay off. So hopefully folks are listening, and we can show them the money again tonight.
Exactly. And, this is where our philosophy pays off here at Coach Talk too. We talk about this all the time. And, I listen to some of our competitors just to get some input at times. I'll scout around, and I really admire some of them, and some are good friends. And one of them they were really negative about the eye test. They thought the eye test was a bunch of BS. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the heck? What we're about here at Coach Talk is all about the eye test. The reason we are making some of those plays are for all the reasons that we're seeing on the court. Now, if you're a max player, 150 max entries in all the contests, you're spending $25,000 a night, and you don't want to look at anything, fine. That's a strategy you can use if you can do it. But for us, we get those $35 in the $6,000 nights, actually $6,350, because we're watching the subs, who's moving without the ball, how's the defense reacting to things, what's the rotation looking like, all of the pieces that you can see that get you to play one guy over another. And again, with that takedown that we had on Yahoo, there were no splits. We were the only lineup with that lineup. And
amazing.
Again, don't underestimate that. If you have a trained eye, personally, I know you do, Deb, because your insight is so great. For 35 years, I've watched, coach, played. You have to watch all those things for your edges, and it translates exactly into DFS. So if you want that and you want to go after it with us, it's dfscoachtalk.com. Perfect time to get involved with this. You can get involved for as little as 3 days, $10. Check us out, dip your toes in the water, and have some takedowns with us. No doubt about it. All right, we're going to dive into this 2-game slate. The last thing I'll say, prizepicks.com is our sponsor of this podcast. If you have not got the money in there yet, as Deb nailed that 5-teamer, you want to get in as soon as you can. And they have a great offer. If you're a first-time depositor with PrizePicks and you sign up and use the promo code CoachTalk, all one word, they'll match you dollar for dollar for the first $100, all the way up to $100. Cannot beat it. Great deal, and we'll help you build that up. All right, first game, we could skip this game. I only care about the last one. It's the Philadelphia 76ers and Miami Heat. And even though I was stack city and had 8 of the 9 guys from the Suns Mavericks game, still the key guy coming out of this game, which I'm not going to be that heavy a stack this time, but there are a few key guys in this game. So it is Philadelphia at Miami, same scenario, tied 2-2. Miami's favored by 3.5 is all at home. 209 is the total. 102.75 implied for Philly. 106.25 implied for the Miami Heat. Miami continues to list their entire roster as questionable, basically, which we don't heed any value to whatsoever. But I will say they have Caleb Martin as probable. PJ Tucker is probable. They're in. Dwayne Dedmon, Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, and Gabe Vincent, all questionable. I think they all play, Deb. I think all of this nonsense is just that nonsense. And then on the Philly side, Joel Embiid listed questionable. I mean, really? He's going to play. And Isaiah Joe, who has not played a bit, is somewhat out of their rotation, really isn't a concern, but he's listed as questionable as well. So let's dive into this. Let's get after it. Want to break up Philly here on us? And I know you were Embiid, was your person last time. Is he going to do that again?
Yeah, I still like Embiid. I mean, his price hasn't moved. He continues to get more minutes and get more involved. He's still the guy on this team, and they can't win without him. So he hit for me last game on over on the rebounds. He got back to his more natural rebound number, and I expect him to get a few more shots up today as well. So I still do really like him. I think this is a few of the guys overall on the slate have come up in price. And I think that it's doable to do Embiid and at least another superstar, maybe not so if you're looking at Luka. So I like Embiid a lot here. As we look at the rest of the Philly team, I mean, who woke Harden up last game?
I mean, he woke up.
He did. I don't buy it though. I think it was an aberration.
Okay.
We've seen, sort of glimpses of it throughout, but I don't think it was really only the second half too.
Right.
Now he may carry that over, but again, I respect Miami's defense against him, and I think I'm not gonna go there. I think he's going to be a really somewhat chalky. I think he'll get high ownership because of how he performed in the last game, and the fact that he's a little cheaper than Butler and even in the other game, even than a Booker. But I'm staying away.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, that's a hard one. He is 8'9", though. That's
I know
tempting.
I know. But it just. Yeah, one game does not a trend make for me. So We'll see. I mean, he's, again, back to his history of choking in the playoffs. So,
I'm with you.
I think a lot of people,
I'm not going there either. So I'm with you. And I think he will be highly owned because people saw 41 minutes and, the
31 points and 6 threes. And exactly. So
but this is in Miami. It's different in Miami.
Yes. So I'm staying away there. I think Maxie still presents a good value, and I like him better than Tobias Harris with Embiid back in. So I'm going to keep Maxie in my rotation for sure. And I'll put Green out there. Danny Green just becomes that if I need that sub 5K guy to fill in my lineup, he's one of 2 or 3 that I'm going to continue to look at.
Yeah, Disco Danny Green, 3 more threes, but man, when you play him, you gotta be praying the whole time.
I know,
right?
You sweat it out.
You know what I was concerned about and confused about? Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey only got 10 shots up each. That is a concern because Maxey played 42 minutes and Harris 35. So my question to you is this. I mean, is Harden, he got 18 shots up, Embiid only 13. So if Harden is going to start to try to be ball dominant, that doesn't mean he's going to be effective, but man, that makes me nervous about spending money for Maxie or Harris, or it gives me a little cause of concern with Embiid even.
I think Harris definitely gets affected. I mean, he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. His usage definitely goes down. Maxie, you're right. I mean, he only, got up 10 shots, but although I think he got up more, he was 6 for 6 at the line. So
Yeah.
I think that they fouled him a bunch. And I think if you look at, Maxie sort of historically, over the last 20 games or so, I mean, there have been a number of games where he's been more in that 10 to 13 shots a game range.
Right.
I think he still has the ball in his hands more. He's giving you those stocks. I do like him. I think he's still not at a 7,000 or sub 7,000 on DK.
Right.
Still a pretty good price. So and I get it. I go back to, do you like him better than Brunson? And I think, I think he's been more consistent than Brunson.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big Maxie guy. I think I've had rostered him like every game. I mean, he doesn't really have a backup anymore. It's like those guys sort of disappeared. Shake Milton doesn't really get in much. And, he gets huge 40 plus minutes. Yeah. So I'm with you on Maxie. I still like him a lot. And I think Embiid, is proven he's just going to get his minutes. I mean, he's going to get them. Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm on the same type of thinking, but I do think we may be in the minority as far as the Harden opinion. I think a lot of people are going to drift that direction.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I'd rather be in the minority on something like that. But I'm still keeping, I mean, I know we stacked, you stacked the Phoenix Dallas last time out. I'm still going to be pretty light on this game. And there's just not a lot of, some of the prices have come up on some guys, and, the offense, it's not going to be a highly offensive game. I think there's gonna be a lot of defensive intensity in Miami. So, but I will spend a little money looking at Embiid and Maxie on the Philly side. On the Miami side, boy, hard not to play Butler. Real hard not to play Butler. He is the guy there. And I do like him on DK.
Alpha. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sub 10K on DK at 9,500. I think that's a real respectable price. I've never paid for Butler at 10.8. On FanDuel. I mean, that's just
nuts.
That is nuts, because then you are starting to look at, well, Butler or Luka. So I'm probably not going to play Butler, although he probably will be fairly low owned relative
at that
to
price. He will be right.
Yep. So, but most certainly on DK. Other than that, I get real nervous about any of these Miami guys. I mean, I don't trust Bam against Embiid. I just don't think he can hit that number. I mean, you really need 45 points out of him, and I just don't see that. Hero. Now, here's the thing on Hero. So I know you said you think Lowry's going to play. He's the one guy who apparently he did get injured towards the end of, or I guess the middle of last game. Now he did come back and finish it out, although they rested him in a bunch in the fourth quarter. Yeah. But if he's out, I like Hero. I think he gets the ball's in his hands more. I think he's more aggressive, and I like him at the 6,000 FanDuel, 6,300 on DK. If Lowry plays, I'm not sure I'm going with Hero. So that's one pivot that I'm going to have to wait for the news.
Are those the two guys that are questionable that you think are legit questionable? Hero and Lowry?
Oh, for playing?
Yes.
I think actually only Lowry. Hero's going to play.
Okay.
Hero's going to play, but
Lowry's the guy that might be because the rest of these guys, I don't even remember them, having any issues. So
yeah.
Okay. So that's the news that we need then.
And Lowry's not helping them. I mean, he was terrible. He had some assists, but he couldn't shoot the ball. And so, why rush him? So, and he's old. And so, we'll see. But if he's playing, it makes me nervous about playing Hero,
Right.
and hitting his, hitting his number. But if there's no Lowry, I like Hero a lot.
Yeah.
And I continue to like Oladipo, but boy, has his price creeped up. He's at 5,300 now on DK.
Yeah.
So, again, then you have to look at him versus a Bullock or Finney Smith, or, can he work out there? But boy, he is, when he plays, he racks up the fantasy points.
Oh, big time.
So,
yeah.
And Strus at 4,100, he's not played well this series.
No.
I don't know if he's got this nagging hamstring injury or it's just the Philly D, but I don't get too excited, about playing him.
Yeah, I mean, I've joked around, but he seems to be my last guy in all the time.
Always.
And I'm just trying to pull him into double digits, for crying out loud. So, yeah, I think my Max Strus experiment might be over. But, I'm with you. I think it's very simple. We're in the same, thinking here. If Lowry sits, I think Hero becomes a much stronger play. I don't think Hero's a bad play, even if Lowry does play, because, he's still going to get mid-30s minutes. And he only went 1 for 5 from 3. So he didn't have a good shooting game, but he's been rebounding lately for some reason. He's crashing the glass. And I don't know. I think Hero's a dangerous play. Wish his price was a little bit better. I'm 100% on the Oladipo bandwagon. He's going to probably be in all my lineups. I know he's slipped over 5K now, but I mean, he's up to 30 some minutes a game. And he was like a non-factor at the beginning of this series. And now, not only is he a big factor, he's closing games, he's taking key shots. And I think he's a great play. Bam is the tough one for me. I'm not going to go there because of salary restrictions, but I do think he'll play better in Miami. And he didn't have the worst game the last time out, So, he's dangerous. The thing I'm concerned about here, Deb, and this is where I have to figure it out what I'm going to do. I still want to, the thing that led me to the promised land is I stuck by my guns, and I played Butler and Luka, and who was my third guy? The 3 guards, Maxie
Booker.
Booker.
Yeah, Booker.
Yes, Booker, those 3. And I feel like I want to stay with Butler. And I know you can't on FanDuel at that stupid price, but on DraftKings and Yahoo, you can make it work. Here's the thing. He took 20 shots and he took 13 foul shots. So that's a lot of having the ball in your hands, getting a lot of shots up. He always gets stocks. He had 2 steals, 2 blocks again. And, when they double him and they blitz him, gets the ball to Bam on a lob or whatever. So I think I'm going to go back to Butler. I mean, it's hard to steer away from him because, again, I'm looking for the guys that are monster alphas, that they're going to take every single big shot. And I guarantee you Butler's going to pretty much take every single big shot, just like Luka or just like,
Embiid.
Or Harden now. You never know. That's where we got to see what's going to happen. I hope Embiid, but I'm with you. So, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else on this one?
I'm good.
All right. Let's get to some real basketball here. No playing around. We have the Dallas Mavericks at the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix favored by 6, 213 total, 103.5 implied for Dallas, 109.5 for Phoenix. So nothing dramatic. Philly's the lowest at 102.75. Phoenix the highest at 109.5. There's only a 4-point difference in the total. So none of those numbers should sway you. You should feel comfortable with going who you want to go with here and making it roll from there. So I guess, the first question is, I've said it every game in the Milwaukee series that you can't chase Giannis's points. I sort of still feel the same way about Luka with Dallas. And I would assume you're in the same boat after watching him in person and just seeing how ball dominant he is. watching in person is even more impressive because he doesn't move as fast as the other guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet still gets to his spots, you know?
It's amazing.
So are you Luka Magic here, or what do you think?
You know, I'm probably not.
What?
Probably
the
not.
heck?
I know. And again, I think it's and here's why. Because he is still, 1,000 to 2,000 ahead of everyone of the other alpha guys, right?
Yeah.
And I think that he's not necessarily scoring more fantasy points than them. He does have, he was so fun to watch, and he gets you everything. He gets you steals, he gets you assists, he gets you rebounds, he goes to the line. But he's not as good at the line, so he's not as efficient there.
True.
And he's also not as efficient shooting. So he will put the ball up 25 times in a game, but I'd rather have Butler hitting 13 or 14 of them than Luka hitting 11 of them. So as much as I love him, I think I think in this series against Phoenix, I think Phoenix is going to let others get their points. But they're going to really try and limit Luka. Now, limiting Luka means he's still going to give you a 50 or 55 fantasy wise.
Right.
But I don't think he gets the 75.
Okay.
Which is why I'm leaning towards, kind of looking at like an Embiid Butler combination or a Booker Butler combination. So
I have to counterpoint this one.
Yes, please do, because I know where you are.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and Phoenix does have a good defense, and it makes perfect sense. My logic is this, though. In my projections, I have Luka 6 points higher DFS points than anybody else. Now, you would say, okay, well, that's not that much because he's a lot more expensive. I mean, it's all relative in your build. I mean, yeah, he's 11 something, but the way he plays, he should be like 12-6, 12-8, because I mean, he's probably going to get close to a triple double, and who knows on the point side. He had a good game the last time as far as DFS wise, and he was 1 for 10 from 3. And I think some of those go in. And here's the reason I'm staying with him is it's worked for me every time with Giannis, and it's similar to me with Luka, because they are the ball dominant alphas that are some of the most difficult to guard in the league. And I don't see the adjustment from Monty. It's still happening. The high pick and roll, and it's Ayton is on Luka. And as long as that continues to happen, he's either going to hit the step back 3, which he's not going to go 1 for 10 again, or he's going to get past Ayton, either get fouled, get the bucket inside, or that's when he finds the guy spotting up for threes because the defense collapses on him. So his assist total should be up, through the roof as well. So I'm going with him. I'm not going to spend the money to try to get a Brunson or a more expensive running mate for him because you can't afford them all. But I just think, again, we're in that scenario where I don't want to chase the guy that could throw 75 up on the board, and nobody would be shocked by it, Whereas if we get Harden or Embiid at 75, maybe you're a little surprised. I mean, I think Embiid's phenomenal, but he's playing with a mask and a thumb tear, and Harden starting to take the ball. And so I just think I can't get away from it. And it's, again, I've got the Mavs hat on. Dirk's happy I'm talking about it, but it's not from a fandom standpoint. It's just like, the fact that I've had Giannis in my lineup every game. I just feel the same way with Luka. In a 2-game slate, I'm not chasing that possible 75 points. That's just where I'm at.
What's so great about this, and this is why I love DFS, is one of us is going to be right.
Yeah.
And we're both giving lineups to members. So hopefully, hopefully we've got the winning combination in whoever's right. So,
and what's even funnier, Deb? We could both be right. I mean, I could have a lineup with Luka with 75. You could have faded him, but because you have Booker and Butler or whatever, those combination, because obviously if I'm taking Luka and one other good player, Disco Danny Green or somebody's making my back end.
Exactly.
So, that's the fun part about
point.
it is, we
great
got
point.
a chance to both hit. Yep. So give me your rest of your breakdown on Dallas.
Yeah. So, Dallas is tough tonight. I mean, I think it's back in Phoenix. I think Phoenix really cracks down defensively. Brunson's kind of expensive. 6,700 on FanDuel, 6,400 on DK. But since I'm not going with Luka, I am going to consider Brunson again. For me, it's going to be Brunson versus Maxie, and who fits into my lineup. Brunson's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
DFS, Finney Smith, he's come up in price. We've been calling him the whole series.
Yeah.
He did hit big last game. And I still really like him. Yeah. Now he's not going to hit on those crazy number of threes. No way. No. That was a total aberration.
Yeah.
But he plays a ton of minutes. He's getting usage. He gets you rebounds. He gets you stocks. He is 5,800 on FanDuel, 5,900 on DK, and that's the highest we've seen him in a long time. It does give me some pause. The less expensive alternative is to go with Bullock, who's getting the same number of minutes, but has not been getting the usage. But he's down to 4,800 on FanDuel. Yeah. So, the question is, do you go with him and hope that he gets a few more touches? I'm not sure. I'm not set on that yet. And you may have a better answer knowing your Mavs as well as you do. Yeah. And then the other questions are around, Bertans, who's really cheap, but
don't do it.
Had that right. Exactly.
Trap City.
The big stiff who got
Trap City.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think Kleba at 4,500 on FanDuel is a fair price. He's getting the minutes. He's getting involved. He's getting rebounds. I think he'll hit on a few of his threes tonight. So yeah. I do like going back to Kleber. So I don't know. Dallas was a little bit of a mess for me. I'm probably a Kleber and either a Finney Smith or a Bullock.
Yeah. For me, it's going to be pretty streamlined on this one. I'm going Luka and Kleba in all my lineups. I just think Kleba has really taken over the center position, even though it's off the bench. 34 minutes again. He can hit the three if he's open. He'll get you some rebounds. He even gets some stocks. He's a much better defender than people give him credit for, and I think he's too cheap. So after those two guys, though, Deb, I may not have any other Mavericks.
You don't trust Bullock?
Pardon me?
You don't trust Bullock?
No, I like him, but I just don't trust his output. Only 6 shots up again, 2 rebounds. I mean, he's not a massive peripheral guy. Like, he's not going to get you 10 rebounds or 8 assists or anything. So if he's not scoring a decent amount, he's in there mainly for his defense. And I just don't, that price is good for a guy that can easily get 40 minutes, but I think I'd rather go elsewhere. And I think Finney Smith would be the next guy in for me, but I don't want to pay close to $6K for him because yes, he's going to get some rebounds, and get the 40 some minutes, but he's not going to shoot 67% from 3 again. Right. And, you can't, every dollar counts in this salary, and for me, Brunson's too expensive. Like I said last time, Dinwiddie's a backup. He's just Luka's backup, and you just can't play him. And anybody that puts Bertans in there, God bless you, man. 12 minutes and hit 4 threes. That was a miracle. Well, as a Mavs fan, we'll take it, and that'll be it for me on that one. So, yeah, I'm not going to be Mavs heavy, but it'll be 2 key guys in my lineup.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay.
All right, Miss Phoenix Suns, just tell us who to play, and we'll play them.
All right, so I am on Chris Paul tonight.
Okay.
I think he's fired up. He is pissed off. he barely played last game,
Yeah.
with fouling out, and he needs to win. Like, this is his year. Like, this is
Right.
not gonna he's at his end. It's not gonna happen again. He needs to figure out how to get 10 plus assists. He needs to figure out how to get tons of lobs or easy shots for Ayton, and he needs to bring it in the fourth quarter like he usually does. And I think he's going to bounce back. I think his pricing has come down. He's at $8K on DK, 8,800 on FanDuel. I think that's real fair pricing for him. So I like him a lot. I like him better than Booker just because of the price difference, and Booker being always more points dependent. Booker on DK at 8,600 is a fair price. I don't like Booker on FanDuel at 9,600. I think that's too high for him.
Wow. Yeah.
I'd much rather go. Yeah. I mean, I'd rather go, for example, with Embiid. I mean, they're only 400 apart on FanDuel, and, obviously different positions, but in terms of where you're spreading your dollars, I'd much rather go after Embiid there.
Yeah.
I got to go back to Crowder. I mean, he continues to, you can just see, again, veteran intensity. He's playing his heart out.
He does not like the Mavericks.
and he's getting exactly. I mean, we've been riding him the whole series.
Yeah.
And he's still, he's 5,500, but I still do like him. I still, we talk about sort of who these value plays are. I think Cam Johnson at 3,900 on DK, it seems like he has not quite hit his stride in this series.
No.
But you see glimpses, and he's getting enough minutes to get his points in. I think it's been a really fluky series because of all the foul trouble. They've been mixing up their lineups, but I think if we can get into some consistency tonight of the typical lineup, and he gets, he's a little bit of the lead guy on the second unit, I think he can hit his number. I mean, I keep going on and on. I feel like the Suns are really fairly priced tonight, so there's a lot to choose from. You've got Bridges down to 5,700 on DK. Right. Now he's kind of been the odd man out. He's not getting as many shots up. The usage is not there. And I think it'll continue that way. They're really looking for him to batten down the defense and focus on that. He will get some stocks. So he's on a cash play, from a cash play standpoint, I think he's a nice play, but I don't think he's got a ton of upside tonight. I do think Ayton at 7K, again, I'd much rather go with Ayton than Bam. He's 7K, and he's going to be in a lot of my lineups as well. So I'm certainly 3 Suns, possibly 4.
Wow. Okay. I cannot figure out if I want any interest in DeAndre Ayton or not. I mean, I think he's in such a smash spot. We've talked about this every game. He really should be dominating the middle and killing that 7K price. But he just, I don't know. I've told you, I've said it all along, and I've always been that way with him. There are times when he's just disinterested. How can you be disinterested in a playoff game? But I don't know if he just shrivels up or what. But, last game, all right, he gets 33 minutes, which isn't bad, but he only gets up 12 shots. He got fouled once. Right. I mean, that's ridiculous. He did get 11 rebounds at 7'2". I mean, you better get 10 rebounds plus.
Right.
But I still don't see the times where he looks like he's going to take over. And with Kleba and Powell guarding him, man, he should just be killing it. So I think I may end up playing him again, and I don't want to because I don't like him. But there's so much upside. And if you told me right now he was going to get 32 to 35 minutes, I don't see how you don't play him. But my question is this, though. I saw glimpses of time there where they put in JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo both in different spots, in some key spots. And I know they have lots of confidence in McGee. Do you see that as possible? Or is it just they're going to ride Ayton in the fourth quarter. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think they have a ton of confidence in McGee, and he brings a certain kind of energy. I've played McGee a little bit throughout, the past couple of weeks actually, because he stays real low, particularly on DK. He's a nice fill-in. But he, at the end of the day, and you can play both too, frankly. But I'm definitely big on Ayton. I think the last two games, Phoenix hasn't really been able to get into their flow, right? There's either been foul trouble, Ayton was in foul trouble, or maybe that was 3 games ago that Ayton was in foul trouble. And then obviously Paul, I think Ayton needs Paul. And so if Paul, stays out of foul trouble, I think you're going to see him get 15 or more shots off. And I think that's going to really help him. McGee, I think, the problem is, if McGee played 20 minutes, it would be a no-brainer. But he's really only getting, what did he get last game? 13?
9.
9. And that's the problem is, I think he's a great points per minute guy, but he's just not getting the minutes. So, and I think that Ayton's going to get the, 32 to 34 minutes. Sometimes they even go smaller. And you can do that against Dallas. So I just don't think that McGee gets enough minutes to really warrant him. And I'm not going there tonight.
To show you how bad Dallas is on the interior, McGee only gets 9 minutes, right? He goes 3 for 5. He hits 3 buckets in 9 minutes and grabs 6 rebounds.
It's unbelievable.
And that is.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Plus, here's my other concern about Ayton. McGee grabbed 4 fouls in 9 minutes. That was the other thing. So where he would have come back in, I think, and taken the 5 minutes that Biyombo got if he wouldn't have been in foul trouble. So, I know this sounds silly, but I'm considering McGee as last man in, dead cheap. And I know it's a real risk. I'll play it in my GPPs, but probably not in my cash games. But I will say this with Phoenix. I can sum it up easy and save us some time here. I'm all about Chris Paul in this game. I think he comes into this game with an absolute focus and just furious. And I think he's going to be. Now, I will say Reggie Bullock has done an absolutely admirable job on him. I mean, terrific. But this is Chris Paul, mad, 2 games each, his best chance, probably his last chance maybe to win a championship. So I'm putting my money on him. He's too cheap. And I think he's going to be the other lock and load play for me. He's probably my best play on the entire slate. Yeah. And that says a lot. And for a guy that's coming off, 23 minutes with 6 points, so we'll see how it goes. But my big decision will be the secondary guy from Phoenix. I may stick with Crowder. Why not? He's got it done for us every game, and he's getting the big minutes. I do think somewhere along the lines here, Cam Johnson's going to drop a nice game on us, though. Yeah. And I'd like to be on that side when he does. So I'm considering him too, as you really have to squeeze in those last guys. So, the only guys I'm staying away from, Bridges just doesn't seem involved enough offensively. Booker, by the way, small pat on the back to myself here. I said Booker 35 plus real points in the last game, and he got 35. So
he did. That was amazing.
Yeah, and I was really happy with that performance. But I just think that the dynamic changes. Booker's so expensive. I think Paul gets a lot of that usage, some of those shots back. And I think that Booker regresses a little bit for that price. So not that I don't think he could kill us, but, you can't play all the top salary guys,
Yeah.
So that's where I stand. That is it. Let's jump to Prize Picks, Deb.
Hey, let's do it.
Let's go to Prize Picks. I can tell you my first pick right off the bat. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes, please.
It is Chris Paul plus 15.5 points.
Okay.
You were expecting me to pick assists.
I absolutely was. I
think
you threw me
the ball a little today.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. My first, I'm going with Mikelle Bridges at over 1.5 blocks and steals.
Smart play, monster minutes. That strategy has worked for us with the guys on big minutes.
It has.
I think that is a really good play. I'm going to do it. Points, rebounds, assists over Cam Johnson, 13.5.
Wow.
That, don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
I like that one a lot.
Look at poor old Crash has to do the podcast tomorrow, bald, no hat. Because Grayson Allen couldn't get him 13.5.
Yeah.
Points.
Ouch.
Yeah. So I think Cam's a little better than him. So.
I like that one a lot. Yep, that's a good one. For my second one, I'm going with my man Joel Embiid over 24.5 points.
Okay. I like it. The masked man, Batman.
That's right.
All right. Excellent.
Cool.
That's it. That's everything. Any other nuggets of joy here?
No, I'll just be hopefully it's a great game tonight, but hopefully my Suns come through.
I'll just say this. This is the biggest single game for the Mavericks in the last 11 years.
Wow.
I'm serious.
Wow.
It really is. So
yeah,
this is going to be we'll see who shows up. Oh, it's going to be a great game. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. I do hope it's a good game, though. That's the key,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Me too.
Well, fantastic. We'll be back here, obviously, for a game 6. We know that's coming. So we'll be back together for that Friday. One. And then if it does go 7, we get in the arena report from Deb.
That's right.
As you have tickets for game 7.
I got tickets to game 7.
Whew. It's a shame the Mavs are going to win in 6.
I was going to say, I hope it doesn't make it.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, great job, Deb. Appreciate it. I know you're doing double duty with this series here. So hopefully we keep it going.
Cool.
All right. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, Prize Picks, for being the presenting sponsor. Don't forget, you can jump in there with them. Go to prizepicks.com. Use that promo code Coach Talk on your first deposit. They'll match you dollar for dollar up to $100. If you're watching right now on YouTube, we really appreciate a thumbs up. That means a lot to us. Hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, click the alarm in the upper corner. That lets you know when any of our podcasts post. We have a baseball pod up today. This NBA one will go up. Tomorrow we have 3 pods, baseball, basketball, and golf. So great time to join us. Hit that alert so you know when they pop up, and really appreciate it. Good luck tonight, Deb. It's going to be fun.
Same to you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening in, and we'll catch you again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and Prize Picks.